Now, remember, BRS, MLC and Telangana Chief Minister K Rao's daughter, K Kavitha, is set to appear before the Enforcement Directorate again today. We're getting visuals of BRS leaders who are gathered at K Kavitha's residence in her support. Now, remember, last time the BRS MLC was questioned for over 8.5 hours. K Kavitha has maintained that she has nothing to do with the alleged liquor scam and that she has not met Manish Sisodia ever in her life. Now, the Enforcement Directorate says that Hyderabad-based businessman Arun Pillai was a proxy for K Kavitha and the ultimate beneficiary was K Kavitha herself. Now, K Kavitha's ex-aide, alleged Buchi Babu, has also been summoned again and will be reportedly confronted with K Kavitha. Now, the visuals that we are showing you right now are of BRS leaders who are gathered at K Kavitha's residence in her support. Now, again, in anticipation of the protest by K Kavitha's supporters, and those are the visuals that we're showing you, security has also been beefed up outside of the ED's office.
आज हिंदुस्तान भर में एक यूनिवर्सल मुद्दा है। जो भी ऑपोजिशन में है, जो भी मोदी जी के खिलाफ बोलेंगे, जो भी बीजेपी के फेल्यूर्स को एक्सपोज करेंगे, उनको तो बुलाना ही है और सताना ही है। तो वो नॉर्मल कोर्स हो गया आजकल ये, लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेट है। डेमोक्रेसी में ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। सबकी आवाज़ की रिस्पेक्ट होनी चाहिए, सबको सवाल उठाने का अधिकार होना चाहिए। और जब वो अधिकार नेता भी खो जाएगा तो कल जनता भी खो जाएगी। तो यह नेता के पास रुकने वाला नहीं है। पहले उन्होंने जो बिज़नेस हाउसेस थे उन पे रेड किया, उनको कंट्रोल करने का कोशिश किया, देन पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज़ को भी कंट्रोल करने का कोशिश कर रहे। तो बचा कौन है अभी? नेता के बाद तो जनता के पास जाएंगे। तो जनता जितनी जल्दी ये बात समझ लेगी कि ये तानाशाही कितनी हद तक जा सकती है, उतना देश के लिए अच्छा है। लेकिन हम लड़ेंगे, हमने कुछ गलत किया नहीं है। तो जब भी वो बुलाएंगे जाएंगे, जवाब दे देंगे, आ जाएंगे।
We are crossing over to CNN News 18's Shireen Elizabeth, who's joining us live to give us more details on this. Shireen, what time can we expect K Kavitha to appear before the ED? Because right now we're getting visuals of BRS leaders who are protesting in front of her residence.
Well, that is right. And in fact, I want to begin by the fact that you mentioned how there are BRS leaders who are protesting outside the residence of K Kavitha. And you can see there are in fact a huge number of gathering of the BRS cadre, party workers, supporters who have joined in large number, not just outside but also inside the residence of K Kavitha. Now, they all have in fact gathered here to support her. And similar, scenes were witnessed on the first day of her questioning at the ED on March 11th, when she was in fact summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. Initially she was summoned on 9th of March, but then she has in fact asked for a different date, and 11th of March is
over 8 hours, and today is the second round of questioning. Now, before that, before she leaves for the Enforcement Directorate, there is going to be a press conference where once again it is expected that she is going to attack the BJP over the misuse of the agencies. Now, remember, the BRS and the other opposition parties have in fact been saying how the agencies are being misused by the BJP government. We have seen a march that was taken out by the opposition party, in which the BRS were also signatories in the memorandum that was supposed to be submitted to the ED director. Now, right outside the residence, you can see the crowd that is in fact gathering. Now, today is going to be a very crucial day because today, Buchi Babu, who is in fact the former auditor of K Kavitha, apart from that, Arun Ramachandran Pillai, there is in fact a possibility that all of them will be in fact confronted. They will be questioned together. So it is not going to be a smooth ride. Now, remember, K Kavitha has in fact asked that whether she could in fact be questioned at her residence earlier when she was summoned for the first time. That request was in fact rejected by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, yesterday her lawyer has submitted a petition in Supreme Court that whether it is right for a woman to be summoned at ED office and questioned, for which the Supreme Court has said that they are not going to hear the matter on an urgent basis. They are going to hear a petition only on 24th March. Now, meanwhile, the questioning today will in fact be done. So that means she will be going to the ED office. But before that, she will be in fact addressing the media. Yesterday as well, she has in fact once again repeated that she has nothing to do with the liquor excise policy case. She has never met Manish Sisodia. This is nothing but political vendetta. So one by one, Right now also you can see one by one MPs of the BRS. Apart from that, the ministers of BRS are in fact coming. So a show of strength is of course going to be witnessed today while she leaves for the ED office. Now remember, we have seen the statement that has come from her brother KTR as well, that the entire the force, the cadre, party cadre is going to support her, and she has nothing to do with the case that the ED has been talking about. So one by one, the MPs, the state ministers are in fact gathering here. The workers are also gathering here. Of course, it is going to be a bit difficult for the Delhi police as well as the ED officials to control the crowd, because last time also, if you remember, the ED office was completely barricaded. Today as well, the residents, the entrance to the residence has in fact been completely barricaded here at KCR residence, so that the crowd, no untoward incident happens here. But clearly a show of strength will be witnessed here. So around 11 o'clock is what we are being told is when K Kavitha will be leaving. After addressing the media, will be leaving to the ED office. Back to you.
All right, Shreen, do stay with us. We also want to bring in CNN News 18's Anshul Singh, who's also joining us live. Anshul, when it comes to what K Kavitha has said, she's saying that, again, she has no connection to the case that's going on. But could you go over the allegations that are against her?
Yes, the troubles are mounting for K Kavitha at this point in time. Remember, Buchi Babu, who was an auditor of K Kavitha, in fact, was questioned by the Enforcement Directorate for more than 8 hours yesterday itself. But yes, if you see the charge sheet, initial charge sheet that was filed by the Enforcement Directorate, it was very clearly and categorically mentioned in the statement that was made by Buchi Babu that yes, a meeting between K Kavitha and Manish Sisodia had happened, and they were in cahoots, and they knew about the nitty-gritties and the changes in the policy that needs to be made, so that this alleged South lobby could be benefited. So yes, this is the main allegation against K Kavitha, that not only Buchi Babu but also Arun Ramchandra Pillai, who is also a very close aide of K Kavitha, also knew about this entire policy while it was being formed, and he was the person who was in cahoots with Vijay Nair, who is said to be a very close aide of the Aam Aadmi Party. Both these people actually were speaking to each other, and both these people made sure that the policy is made in such a way that that the so-called South lobby is benefited. So yes, today Buchi Babu has again been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. It is going to be very, very interesting to see if at all Buchi Babu and K Kavitha would be questioned together. But yes, the troubles seem to be mounting after K Kavitha did not get any sort of relief from the Supreme Court yesterday. In fact, that matter has been listed to be heard on the 24th of March. But today, as K Kavitha will enter the Enforcement Directorate office, there are a lot of questions that needs to be asked to K Kavitha regarding this entire policy, and if she had any idea whatsoever that this entire policy was being made so that the so-called South lobby could be benefited from this policy. So yes, it remains to be seen what transpired inside the Enforcement Directorate office. But I'll just try and show you in the visuals over here that yes, there is heavy security that has been deployed over here just to make sure that the kind of crowd that we saw last time around outside the Enforcement Directorate office, the show of strength that is being shown by the BRS, that is controlled in some way or the other out here, and hence we are seeing this heavy security deployment that has already been deployed outside the Enforcement Directorate office. So yes, at 11 a.m. is the time when K Kavitha would be coming out here at the Enforcement Directorate office. She will again be asked the questions of how she was actually involved in this entire policy making, and if she also knew that the 100 crore advance kickback that was given allegedly to the Aam Aadmi Party, if she had any idea that money was also being given, and in what mode, if she has that idea, and in what mode was that money provided to the Aam Aadmi Party. So yes, all these questions are going to be asked to K Kavitha today. So yes, it remains to be seen if the ED will decide to carry on with the investigation of K Kavitha, or will they decide to end it today and file that in the charge sheet, the statement that they have given. So yes, the next few hours are going to be very, very interesting, not only for the Enforcement Director but also for K Kavitha, because as she comes here, she will have to answer many questions that the ED has already prepared for K Kavitha.
All right, Anshul, just stay with us. We also want to cross back over to CNN News 18's Shreen Elizabeth, who's also joining us live. Remember, she's outside of K Kavitha's residence, where there are BRS leaders who are in support of K Kavitha, of course, and that's where they're protesting. Shreen, what I wanted to ask you about was, can you tell us a bit more about the confirmations, whether we have any, on possible confrontations?
Well, in all likelihood, because remember last time as well, the reason why K Kavitha was summoned on March 9th was because Arun Ramchandra Pillai, who is in fact a Hyderabad-based businessman was in fact in custody of Enforcement Directorate, and that is why K Kavitha was summoned around that time. But after her request that whether she could come on 16 March, that was rejected, and on 11th March is when she was appeared. Now, last time as well, there was in fact questioning that was done on the same line, and this time, yesterday is when Buchi Babu, I beg your pardon, who has in fact been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate, and today as well he has in fact been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, Buchi Babu is in fact a former auditor of K Kavitha, and there has in fact been statements that are in fact Arun Ramchandran Pillai also, if you remember, has in his statement said that she did meet Manish Sisodia. There were in fact backdoor talks that was going on, but after which he has retracted from his statement. A retraction was in fact filed by Arun Ramchandran Pillai, to which the ED has been saying there is in fact pressure that is being built by BRS MLC K Kavitha, and that is why perhaps Arun Ramchandran Pillai took U-turn from his statement. So that is why it has become more crucial for the Enforcement Directorate to confront all of them together, because when we talk about Buchi Babu, when we talk about Arun Ramchandran Pillai, when we talk about Sharath Reddy, when we talk about K Kavitha, all of them are allegedly part of the South cartel, which were in fact benefiting out of this excise policy. They were the ones who were initiating, they were the key players in the entire excise policy, and also Manish Sisodia, whose name has now is in fact in custody of ED. Whether all of them will in fact be made to sit together, and the questioning will all incline is something that the ED of course will be revealing. But there is in fact the sources have been saying that today as well Buchi Babu has in fact been summoned by Enforcement Directorate. So in all likelihood he will be confronted with K Kavitha, who is supposed to leave from her residence about 11 a.m. But yesterday also, if you see,
All right, Shireen.